let's see. I just want to introduce a new thing here, which is called input split. This is very high level. Okay, block, the data is there, immediately you have a map, but in between there are two more processes are happening. In between there are two more things are happening. What are there? See, block is a physical, right? Block is a physical copy. Block is a physical data, and map is a different logical, what logic we write. How your map will read, how your map will read a physical copy, right? So that's what we have, something called input split. We have something called input split. What is that? Input split. Okay, let's look at guys here. Input split. What is the input split? What is the input split? Input split is a logical representation of, input split is a logical representation of a piece of data or a block which will be processing by single mapper. What is input split? Input split is a logical representation of a piece of data or a block which will be processed by single mapper. What it is, Ravi? I didn't get you. Okay. So we have loaded the data into HDFS. The data is stored in HDFS in the form of blocks, correct? The data is stored in the form of blocks. Yes or no? These are the blocks. These blocks are physical data, correct? The physical data, I need to read it, right? To process the data, I need to read the physical data, and I need to give input to my map program or map logic, right? Who will do that? But how your mapper knows from where to where I need to read? How your mapper knows this is the physical copy, from where to where I need to read? How your mapper knows about it? Your mapper knows it by using input split. Understand guys, what is input split? Understand what is input split? Let me tell you very clearly here. Let me tell you very clear here. Let me take you a simple example. If you are not able to understand, let's see here. Let's assume that this is my full name. Okay, Venkata Veera Ravi Kumar Singeri. This is my full name. Okay. Now, if you assume that this is the size of this is 256 MB. If you assume size of this is 256 MB, size of this is 256 MB. So how many blocks will come for 256 MB? How many blocks will come?
464.
4 blocks will come. Each block will be 64 MB. Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah.
When the blocks are getting divided, it will never consider whether it has a proper meaning or not, whether it has a properly dividing or not. It will never consider it. If I reach 64 MB. Let's say from here I reach a 64 MB. I reach a 64 MB till here. I reach a 64 MB till here. It will break the piece. It never consider whether I'm properly cutting at the space or I'm properly selecting the proper name or not. It will never consider it. Okay, because it's a block, it will just divide it as a block, physical block. So I have started with a 0 KB and a 0 position. I'm ending with a 64 MB. I'm just break it. That's it. It knows only the physical splits. There may be chances it may break in between. Okay, block 2. Let's see block 2. It may break like this. It's possible, right? Do you guys understand why I'm writing like this? It's very much possible, right? The physical copy means it's never consider. It never consider how I am writing or how I am dividing. So am I dividing properly with the space is divided or properly meaningful word is coming or not? It never consider that. Correct?
Yes.
So it's a physical split means it's a physically splits. It will just cut at the whenever I reaches to a proper block. I mean my size 64 MB size. Okay, 3 and the rest of the one is the fourth one. This one is fourth one. Now how many blocks are there? 4 blocks has been divided. Okay. Now when I'm processing these 4 blocks, let's assume that I don't have something called input split. Let's assume that I am processing this piece. If I process this piece, will I get the proper name? What the output I'll get from here? Venkata V. Is the proper meaning is there? Next one is ERARAVI. Is there any proper meaning there? No. Next one is UMARSI. No proper meaning. So when I start processing this, I may not get the proper meaningful information. Yes or no? Guys, are you guys able to follow? Are you guys there with me?
Yes, Ravi.
Everyone, please. This is very much important concept. If you understand this, the whole Mapreduce will be very easy. If you didn't understand this, that will be very difficult. You never you cannot even design if I give a problem. Everyone, Venkat, Varsha, everyone, right? Your physical splits, the blocks are like a physical split. They will just break the data into whether I'm getting the proper meaning or not, whether I'm breaking whether my line is ending properly or not, or whether I'm breaking in between the line or not. It will not consider that. It's a physical split. If I reach it to 64 MB, just break it. Okay, but when you process the block, you may not get the proper meaningful information. Or suppose if I process the block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4 here in this my name, I will end up with some wrong results. I end up with some wrong results. Okay, for that for that we have something called input split. The input split tells you that it is a logical representation of a data or chunk of data which will be processed by single mapper. What is that? Now my input splits will be calculated. How it will calculated, what base it will calculate, we'll discuss now. Okay, my input splits will be calculated because if I directly process these blocks, I may get a proper meaningful information or I may not get a proper meaningful information. To get the proper meaningful information, to get the accurate results, I have to calculate the input splits. So my input splits will be get calculated here. Let's look at guys everyone. So my input split will start from here and it ends. It knows it will be having a logic saying that okay, I need to break it with a proper meaningful information. So that has to be either space or something else. Now if I process this, okay, let me finish. And next one, I know that I have a proper meaningful information till here. If I want to get the proper meaningful information, I'll get it here. These are input splits. These are logical, guys. This pink color or blocks. Now, how many mappers will launch, guys? How many mappers will launch now?
3.
Three mappers. Three mappers. That's what yesterday we have discussed. Yesterday, clearly I have said that that's the one yesterday we were discussing. If you see here, I have clearly written yesterday here, number of input splits equal to number of mappers. Don't worry, you didn't understand the number of splits. What is the number of splits? How it will calculate it? So we'll discuss further. That's what I have told yesterday. Let's see here now. What is input split? What is input split, guys? This is a very much important question. Everything, your whole Mapreduce framework will be depending on this input split concept. What is input split? What is input split?
Ravi. Yeah, Ravi.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, here Venkata space V, that is physical storage.
Correct.
When it becomes to input split,
Mhm.
that will coordinate with different blocks with different nodes.
Exactly. It will coordinate.
Okay. Okay. Logical representation to process that one mapper, right?
Yeah. Logical representation of piece of data or chunk of data or a block.
Okay.
Logical split. It's called logical split. Okay. Logical representation of the chunk of or piece of data or a block of data which will be processed by single mapper. One mapper.
Okay.
Single mapper means one mapper will be processed. Everyone understand? Srikant, Srini.
Ravi, like,
Yeah.
one block is suppose 64 MB,
Hmm.
so it doesn't consider, while input split, it doesn't consider that block size. It divide as a logical basis.
Exactly. It will not
Okay.
consider this. It's not consider the size of the block that time. It will just it will just look for the properly dividing it or not logically. Let's say I have something called hi how are you, or I have something called some log is there. So when the physical split the log is not completed there, the log some part of the log came to other split, some part of the log come to other block. So when I'm processing that, will I get the proper meaningful information? I will not get. To process that I should have a complete record. Correct? Are you guys able to understand or not?
Yes.
Guys, if you guys have any doubt, please ask me now itself. Okay. So if you didn't understand now, it will be a little difficult to understand later part of the course or later part of the map release. Anyone?
Ravi, the question here is this the map Inputsplit will be part of the mapper, right?
Yeah.
And it will be hosted in each data node.
It's not in each data node. It can be a data node. It can be beyond the data node. Sorry. Could you please repeat your question? Sorry. Yes.
No, the Inputsplit is part of the mapper, correct?
Correct.
So each data node will have a mapper functions.
Yeah,
program.
it's not like each data node. One data node can have a 2 mappers, 4 mappers, 5 mappers. This is based on the number of cores is available in your number of cores available in the machine.
Okay, I mean, in this case, if you are, as you said, we consider each block will have one mapper.
Hmm.
Correct.
Hmm.
So in this case, it might the data should come from the two different data nodes.
Correct.
Okay,
So that
so
time,
the data.
what it will do that time, it will just
Mhm.
coordinate the, it will, that, see, I understand you guys questions. Very good. So that's what I was expecting from you guys. Okay, this is the machine 1, node 1.
Mhm.
This is node 1 and this is node 2. This is node 3. Like here only. Okay, this is it's a node, it's a data node 1, Ravi. It's a data node 2. It is a data node 2, it is data node 3, data node 4. Four data nodes are there. Then but while you're processing in by using Inputsplit, it is copying or it is going beyond one data node to another data node. How it will be possible? It's a very good question. What it will do when the map is launched, if it will knows that I need to get some data, little bit of data from other machine, it will just copy that part of the data. Suppose I
Okay,
launched,
how?
yeah.
Okay, carry on, carry on.
So
You finish it off.
yeah, so this is my mission 1 and you have mission 2 and let's say Srinivas has a mission 3. Three missions are there. Now when I launch a map job in my mission, it is calculated input split. So Inputsplit and identified that I cannot process this block without having a complete information, but to process this block I need to get some information from the other machine. Okay, then what it will do, it will spawn across the other machine and it will get the data. How it will get, Ravi? How the data node 1 knows about the data node 2? That's your question.
Okay, carry on. I mean,
Okay,
let me
so
understand completely. Then I'll.
yeah, so when you launch a job, right, will already see the jobs will be launching physical machines block in the data node 1 or it will core wise. Let's say one machine will have a multiple cores. One machine will have a multiple cores. Like it's the map task will be launched on the core, and even reduce task also will launch on the cores. Okay, we'll talk about that. So how the data node 1 knows about the other piece is there in node 2. So your block will maintain the metadata information which will have the next block information. Information this where it will be there. Okay. And when you launch a job tracker also knows that where the other the sequence of the blocks are where it is. Then while launching a job itself, before launching a job itself, if you guys look at the screen, if you guys look at my diagram, the diagram clearly is showing you this is the block and before still map not at launch, it is calculating input splits. Okay, while it is calculating input split itself, it will understand that okay, I need to span across to next machine, get the information, keep it logically here. Okay, that will be calculated before launching a map itself. Before launching your map task itself, it will be calculated. Actually it is what, it's a single path to everyone, right? The DFS is a single path to everyone. When the so when you give a file path as input, when you give a when you give a file path as input, when you give a file path as input in HDFS, it is a single path. It is a single path, right? It is a single path. I never know. I know only slash amazon.txt is there. I don't know which machines it is stored physically. But when you launch a map job, first it'll try to understand where and all the blocks are there. I mean, understand in the sense already the blocks are there across the machines, but even though it's a single path for me. So when I am calculating the input splits by using this file, I will divide. I need to read from here to here. That's my logic. whether it's there in the one machine or it is there in the next machine. Physically it is there in one machine, physically it is there next machine. I don't mind. If it is there next machine, I'll get it. I'll copy the piece of the that part to other wherever the map is executing. Understand, guys? Then it will calculate the input splits. Then the map tasks will be launched. Then the map tasks will be launched. Before launching your map job only, your input splits will be calculated. Your input splits will be calculated. For input split, when the input split also one job. Input split also one object. Input split also one object. It's also a class. While this class taken the path, this is the input path. I need to calculate the input splits based on this. So while calculating input splits on that specific file, it will tell that from here to here you need to read. Whether it is there in a single machine or two machines, I don't mind. You need to read from here to here. That's it. It will be calculated at the before map task launch. Go ahead, Suprit.
No, how the data localization works here. I mean, it has to go to the two different machine, right?
Very good question. I was expecting someone will raise this data localization part or not. Yes. So how much data we will be copy? Very little. It will be in a KB. It will be in a KB. That also it's not every time. In a very rare scenarios. It's a very rare scenarios. It may go beyond the block. Most of the 99, 98%, 99% of the blocks is equivalent to your split. Very rare scenario. Very rare scenario. If the data is splitted like that, that case only I need to just copy some KB of data or KB or bytes of data sometimes. See, input splits will be calculated based on, let's say, hi, how are you doing? So slash n. The slash n is a new line character, correct? Now let's assume that my split is broken here. This slash only ing is went to other block. Only very small piece, right? That can be copied. Data localization here, it is not like we are copying complete block, right? So kbs of data, it can be kbs of data or in a bytes of data. Yes, it is okay with the in the large environment, the bigger environment. Understand?
But every block has this kind of information, right? Every block will have this problem. So every block needs to be
No.
checked.
Why I have given every block? Here I to make you understand, I have given example like this. It's not always, right? No need to be always. So my next block is properly divided. Maybe my block is properly divided. I can process by single map or a single split. In this case, Venkata Veera Ravi Kumar Singh, in this case, to make you understand, it may divide exactly, your split may be exactly similar to block or it may go little beyond to the next. Okay?
So Ravi, for doing the input split, we have to define any kind of delimiter. Like
No, we will
in
not.
this example, you had.
Yeah, very good question. I'm coming to that point. I'm coming to that point. Okay? Now everyone is clear about the input split? Shravani, Anila, guys, please respond to me. Okay? Unmute your mic. Please respond to me. I need to understand whether everyone understood or not. Anila, Debashish, Shravani, and others.
Yes, yes.
Srikanth.
Yeah,
If
understood.
if you guys have a small doubt, also please ask me because this is very much important. And not only interview prospective guys. Forget about the interview prospect. I have given some logic. I'll tell you I need to process this log file, and you have written your map code, and how it is working internally you should know. Based on this all these things only, whether how I have to process this. Based on this all internals only, based on this internals only you have to design your map task, and based on this only you will tune your Mapreduce framework for the performance. Clear? Sulba, Sunil, Vaishnavi?
Ravi, do we need to enable any service for this Mapreduce to work? By default, it would be there.
By default it will take care. And there are some configurations, minimum splits, maximum splits. I'll show you them.
Okay.
Okay, I'm assuming that everyone understood. Okay, let me go with it. Now,
Ravi, sorry, Ravi,
really,
Senior. Yeah, Ravi, last class we have done this by using Scoop. We imported few tables to HDFS, right? There it will copy by row wise, right?
in the table you're
Row
talking,
wise. Yeah. From table to HDFS file.
it will see it will the table will be divided into multiple, not row by multiple mappers. Okay.
Multiple mappers in the sense, okay. Column wise it will get it
No,
into
no,
the
no.
block or
Complete set, complete record. It will come
row wise
row
only.
wise. It's not like a single
In
row.
that case, okay. First block have full row and middle of the second row.
Mm-hmm.
Second block, second row half and third row.
Mm-hmm.
That case, input splitter will be logically combine that first block and second block. That case, right? If possible, can you give that table example? So then we will be more clear. It seems.
Okay.
Example, yeah.
Okay. Understood. Understood. Okay. Let me go to new page. Okay. Look at here. I'm just taking simple table. Two columns or three columns of table I'm taking.
It's okay.
Wow, it's very bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D. It has some data in this. Okay. When you scoop this table from RDBMS to HDFS, HDFS understands only tables. Sorry, only files. Correct? For HDFS, it's just a file system. It's just a flat file for it. It will not maintain any metadata. It will not maintain any information. It will just a flat file for it. Correct? That's the HDFS we have seen. You can load your image, you can load your video, you can load your PDF, you can load your CSV, you can load whatever you load, it is just a file. Correct? Now, let's assume that I have scooped this file into HDFS. I have scooped this file into HDFS. So when it loading into HDFS, what will happen? Let's say by default it will launch how many mappers in scoop? By default, how many mappers it will launch?
4 it seems.
4 or 5?
It will be
Five.
4.
5 mappers.
5 mappers.
Okay. Now 5 mappers are launched. Then it started reading the data. Let's say this is by mapper 1. Let's say only mapper 2 because I have specified only map 2 maps, or it can be one map also, not at all problem with that. So while we're reading it is not a problem. While it's after storing only the problem. Okay, so now your HDFS, it came as a one file. It came as a, so if it launch a multiple mappers, it will come with multiple files. Okay, let's say it came as, it will execute it as only one single mapper. Okay, single file, loaded as a single file. When it's loaded as a single file, how many rows? 4 rows. When it loaded as a single file, this is my single file. 1, 2, 4. Okay, it'll not maintain the ABC, but I'm just to make you understand keeping. This is HDFS. So this is a file. Let's assume that this file size is, more than let's say 100 MB. The file size is 100 MB. How many blocks will come?
2.
2 blocks will come. Okay,
Yeah.
so when it is dividing the blocks, it is taken, this is one block. To make you understand, I'm now taking the next row of a little bit of the next row. Okay, so other parties, this is a block 1 and this is block 2.
Yeah.
Okay, now or actually it will not 1 second, it will not be like that. If I explain like this, you may get confused. Let me make it very simple and crisp. When you're dividing a block, this is your block. This is your block. This is your block 1. Okay, understand now? This is the block 1 and this is block 2. So when I'm processing block 1, I know that first 2 rows I need to read, and the second row, actually here when this row is moved to second block, or whether I am taking wrongly. 1 second guys. It's gone beyond next line. Okay, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So when I'm splitting it, so the split should go beyond 1 row. Okay, so this row has to go a little bit. While I'm breaking it, I have broken like this. Okay, column 1, column 2, column 4. See now, while breaking, let's say this is what my block size, block 1. It may be possible, right? So that data only till 2 rows, and while copying the our fourth column, let's say this is fourth column. Till here, I have considered as a one block. I have considered this as the one block. I have considered that as one block. I have considered this is one block. Okay, while I'm breaking it, because I have reached to 64 MB for the third column itself, till here I have reached this as a one block. Okay, so next block is from here it's the next block. From here it is the next block. So the next block is these two rows and the little part of the other column. Block 1 and the block 2 is, this is block 2. This is block 2. Now I am processing a block 1. If I miss the fourth column, will I get the proper results? Srini, are you able to follow? You understood, I hope now.
Yes. So
Right?
that fourth column, second or fourth column data is required
First
to
block.
process.
To process the block 1, to process the accurate the second row, to process this complete row, what I also need this fourth column, right? If I don't have this fourth column, I will not get the proper results. So that while your input splits are getting calculated, this part also will consider as a single input split. Little data, right? It's not much data, I know. It may be gone to mission 1. This may be gone to mission 1. This may be gone to mission 2 or mission 10. But while I'm calculating, I know I have to start reading from here to here. Understand, everyone? When you load this data in HDFS is a single path, right? See, very simple, guys. I just want to show you one thing here. Let me this thing run. So while you want to read the data, let's say, how will you give the cat command? Hadoop fs -cat -c. You're just giving a path, right? Like this. Yes or no? Oh, my services are not running, it will not execute. What you are giving? Are you giving a blockwise or you are giving a complete file? How are you giving? Complete file. So that complete file internally it understands that I need to read this block from here, this block from here, this block from here, this block from here. Your logic will understand physically, that is internal storage. And actually, how is your HDFS layer? What is if you remember your DFS or HDFS, if you remember your DFS and HDFS, if you remember your HDFS DFS things, DFS is your HDFS is a top layer, but below are the machines, correct? This is one layer. Here the machines are there, correct or not? In Hadoop also this is how it works. On top of your machines, it will create one layer, correct? For you, it is a concern. For me, I know only one path. This is my hard disk. For you, being a client, you understand this is my hard disk. But you don't know whether it's internally storing into one piece here, one piece here, one piece here, in piece here. You never know it. But for you, it's a single path. You have given /vera / bigger file or big file, whatever it is. For you, it is a path. What will happen in this layer? You have telling /vera you take as one folder. Under that, you will keep a file. Are you telling that you create a folder in the data node 1, you create a folder in data node? Are you telling that? No, right? We are not specifying that. We are specifying my DFS layer. We are specifying my HDFS layer. You are talking to this HDFS. Internally, how it will load, how it stores, you don't mind. For you, it is a single path and it's a single file. For you, it's a single path and single file. Even if you take your Windows machine, you are loading your movie. It is storing as a small chunks. internally in the hard disk? Are you telling that you go in this sector, you go in this sector, you go in this sector? Are you telling that? No. For you it is a single file. How it is reading from the hard disk, how it is storing in the hard disk, you never know it. You don't need to worry about it. It is it is our it's not in our control. The same way here, when you load a file into HDFS, you are specifying the HDFS path only. Yes or no? You have written a cat command here. You have written a cat command here. So are you specifying a path or you are specifying the blockwise? It seems that everyone is sleepy. Guys, guys, come on. This has been done a long back.
Yeah, it's we're doing path, full path.
Full path, right? When you are giving a full path, what does it mean? You are for you it is a single file. You never mind whether it's in
Yes.
internally in multiple computers or single computer. The same way, while you're processing also, while you're processing Hadoop, while you are processing your job also, you'll say Hadoop FS, sorry, Hadoop jar path, and you'll give the class driver class name. Let's say my driver is mr job com dot vira dot mr job space. You'll give like this vira slash bigger file dot txt. You take from this path. You are specifying a path only. You are not specifying which data node, what and all. Now, what will happen? It will start calculating input splits. If we start calculating input splits on this path, so for it is a single path. Now it knows it while I'm processing, while I'm creating a input split. Okay, whether I need to consider as a one block or whether I need to consider a small piece from the other block or not, it will be taken care by delimiter. One of our student asked like, sir, how it is getting calculated? Are we passing any delimiter? Are we setting any delimiter? Yes. It is not we. It is not we. Your framework is setting the delimiter. What is it? What is it? Who is setting that delimiter? Before you're calculating input split, the input splits will be calculated based on input file format. Input file format. What is this again? New terminology. Input file format is, we have introduced yesterday, this is, we didn't?
Yes.
Input file format. Input file format tells you that what type of data you are giving to your Mapreduce as an input. Are you giving a text file? Are you giving a sequence file? Are you giving a binary, some other binary file? Or are you giving a tab separated files? What type of file you are giving to your Mapreduce framework? You have to specify, you have to specify, you have to specify the type of input you are going to give to your Mapreduce framework. So if it is a text file, if it is a text file, it has its own way of creating input split. It has its own way of creating input split file. Input split. Let's look at guys here. I'm just moving to next page to make you understand. Based on the input split. Okay, let me make it 2 pages. I mean maximize it. Both here you can see. Oh, you cannot see that. Okay, fine. So here, if you are giving a text input file format, because you are giving a text file, I hope everyone is able to follow. I hope everyone is there with me. If you are giving a text file as input file, text file as input, text type of data as input, there will be something you have to tell to your Mapreduce framework saying that text input format or file format dot class. So when you tell this file format as a text input file format, it has its own way of calculating the input split. How it will calculate the input split. So your text file follows the delimiter is /n. The records has to be divided with a /n. So look at guys here. Look at, I would like to take a small example here. Hi, how are you doing? It will be having a slash and character here guys. So that may not be visible, but still it will be character will be there, slash n, whenever come the new line. How is your preparation? What is Hadoop? They're all new lines guys. Try to understand. I'm keeping into new lines. What is Mapreduce? What is input split? All are questions only, no answers. Input split. Okay. Now let's assume that this file size is 128 MB or this file size is 100 MB. I'm just taking very small piece to make you know, to make you understand easily. This file size is what is the file size? Let's say 100 MB. Why I'm taking 100 MB? Because I want to divide two blocks. That's the only reason, nothing else. Okay. Now how the blocks will be divided? So when you are calculating the block knows that this is zero offset. Offset means from where your characters are started in the file, zero offset. So your block is physically, it understands, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. These three lines is going, it is gone like this. Because I reached till here 64 MB. I reached till here 64 MB. So in next split will be, next block will be from here. Your block never follows the, your block never follows the, your block never follows the delimiters, correct? That's the physical cut, right? Whether you're cutting till tail or you're just cutting, you're leaving tail to other part and you're just cutting there, no matter to your block. Yes or no? But while I'm processing this data using, text input file format, look at guys, everyone please. While I'm processing this data using text input file format, my split one understands, okay, I need to read from here. Everyone should read from the starting only, the same offset. And I have read complete line. Yes, I have a slash n character here. Very good. I'll read till here. I have a slash n character here. Yes, very good. While I'm reading this, I didn't find the slash n character here. Then while it started looking at for the slash n character, yes, I found the slash n here. That slash n is there in the next block. So now my input split will be this. This is my input split. And the next input split will be start reading from here because it's already updated. So this is 0th position and 1, 2, 3, 4 offsets will be I'll tell you what is offsets tomorrow. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the characters will be calculated till here. Let's assume that it is 2001. The character number is 2001. Now the second split to 2. This is split 1. Okay, this is split 2. Split 2 will start reading from 2002. Here, let's say this is 3500 or something. So your split to 2 is calculated. The split to 2 is calculated. It knows that, oh, I need to read from this offset to this offset. Clear, guys, everyone? Supreet,
Yes.
Shravani, Raghu,
Yeah.
Madhu.
Yes,
So
sir.
now it is easy to process by single mapper. Now it is easy for single mapper. This will be processed by single mapper. This will be processed by single mapper. It is easy to process. How input splits will be calculated? Based on your input format. If you are giving separate different format, it may be having a different delimiter. If you are giving some other format of the file or input format, that will have their own format to divide, or they will having their own logic to divide input splits. I'll show you the logics, guys. You don't worry. Okay, I'll show you the source code of the Hadoop. I'll show you the source code of the Hadoop. You no need to worry about it. Okay. If anyone interested, let's have a quick look here. It's the wrong password. Oh, Eclipse is not running, so I think it will take some time to load the Eclipse. Okay, I'll show you tomorrow. I'll show you the logic. Okay, it has some formula also to calculate the input splits. I'll show you that formula. This very simple formula, max of min of something something. I'll tell you that. I don't want to make you confused now. Clear, guys?
So yeah, delimiter where is based on text input file format.
Exactly. Otherwise, how your input split know from here to here I need to take? This is very rare scenario, guys. This is a very rare scenario. Why I'm telling it's a very rare scenario? Very simple. You take one file. I'm taking some example file here. Big data developer streaming. This has 170 lines of line. So if you go and see the size of this, it's there in the D drive data. If you just go and see, if you see this, this is the file. It's a 4 KBs. Okay, it means it's while dividing the so while dividing the blocks, very small part of the data will go to another block. Very rare scenarios, guys. It's very rare scenarios. I will show you that. Okay, not to worry. I'll show you that. My intention is to show, even though it's a very big file, very big file here, it is getting the size is 64 MB is not a small amount. It's a very big file. It will be having thousands of line in that big file. Okay, or else let me show you. If you take this Olympics data CSV file, how many lines are there in this? 8,000 lines are there. If you see the size of this, it will be, I think, 1 MB or 2 MB. Desktop Spark data. Let's look at. This is the data. 507 KB. How many lines? 8,000 lines are there. If you reach 1 MB, how many lines is required? Right. So it will be like that. So huge. It will be 64 MB means it's a huge data. It's a very huge data. Okay. But looks the 64 MB looks simple, but it's a very so many number of lines of code, lines of data. Okay. Yeah. So it will, the blocks will be a very rare case only. It will go beyond the block. Most of the cases it will be within the block. Okay. So any doubts?